cat. His name was George. We lived with his family of four. He had two sisters and one brother. Their names were Lucina and Cole.
Good morning, everyone. I'm very happy to be here today because, you see, I'm a magician. But I don't make rabbits come out of hats. I make books happen. I write books. Now that's a magical act. Because
A unique literacy project has been brought about in Durban by Felicity Keats of Umsinsi Press. This remarkable woman has taught thousands of children and adults to write publishable work, helping them to unlock their creativity. Children who can read and write are now able to help children in deep rural areas who have no classroom, reading books or reading collections, through books and stories that the literate children have written and illustrated, all published by Umsinsi Press. From 350 titles on Umsinsi's lists, the Department of Education and Culture in the Greater Durban region have selected 70 titles suitable for classroom reading collections in rural areas. This choice has been narrowed down to a pilot project of 12 books that aims to supply every child in 40 rural schools in the Greater Durban area with one of these reading books to be retained by the school. The project has the approval of South Africa's Minister of Education, Professor Kada Asmal. Rural school children, although perhaps unable to read the English text, readily identify with the picture of a child author on the back cover. They are intrigued with the child's colorful illustrations, both on the cover and inside the book. Many of the authors come from the race and age group of the children in the rural schools. This instant interest in a book can take them a long way towards wanting to learn to read and wanting to write their own books. These are important factors in the quest towards literacy in our country, as many of these children have never seen a storybook in their lives, never mind held one in their hands. What strides in encouraging literacy such a project is making. To make this magnificent project a reality, contributions from sponsors go into a trust fund held with attorneys Austin Smith under the care of Mr. Brendan Cullinan. Old Mutual became the first sponsor of a full run of 2,000 books for the year 2000. This will in turn supply books first to the schools in the pilot project and thereafter to other neglected schools. In the South Durban region of education and culture alone, there are 125 rural schools without any classroom reading collections. These schools are unlikely to have storybooks for another 5 years. How do these, then, teenagers become literate and interested in reading? So, let's take a look at how some children became the authors of these storybooks.
For 10 minutes without stopping. Okay, you may not stop, that's a rule, all right? Do you know what will happen in that 10 minutes if you write without stopping? You can't talk, you can't stop and think, you can't read over what you've written, you can't look and see what somebody else has been doing, and you can't scratch out or rub out or cross out.
Firstly comes the unlocking of creativity by Felicity Keats, who has been teaching creative writing at schools and privately for many years, in a conducive atmosphere with non-critical, non-judgmental methods. After which, the best stories are chosen for publication, royalties benefiting both the schools and the authors. One of Felicity's young authors is Peter van Zyl, who has written a book called George the Cat, one of the titles chosen for the pilot project. Peter attended Osterville Primary School in Durban and wrote this book during NGen's sponsorship of a creative writing project for 13 primary schools in the Bluff Refinery area during 1998. Felicity ran these workshops in the school hall, where the pupils learned the creative method of writing, starting with 10 minutes of free writing. Peter van Zyl now attends Grosvenor Boys High, but his then teacher, Mrs. Ogle, is impressed with the work and interest shown by the children. amazed at how even difficult learners are helped to read and write. She would like to see the project made part of the school curriculum and continued into high school.
The program was only conducted at primary school level. Most of our 1998 authors are now at senior secondary school with no continuity. Creative writing needs to be introduced at primary school and carried through to high school so that we can produce more authors from our schools. I would just like to appeal to the education department to seriously consider including creative writing as part of our school curriculum so that we can nurture and develop the talents in our learners.
All the titles with Umsinsi Press have a launch. The 12 titles in this project are no exception, including George the Cat. Invited guests for this special launch included representative for Old Mutual, Krivashni Moodley, the Department of Education, Sipho Lombo, NGEN, and Councillor Cooper, Deputy Mayor, North Local
Council. Window to the world, and one can always be thankful if one can read and write as well. The other thing I'd like to lay emphasis on is reading is very essential when properly taught, because it also teaches you to comprehend, especially if you are writing examinations. If you do not comprehend your question, you will never be able to answer it the way the examiner wants you to answer it. That is also something we have to look at.
And just a few textbooks which they did have. And we walked into the school and the principal accompanied us. Eventually we laid out books onto the table that Felicity had sponsored to the kids. And I'd like to show you what the expressions were like, because that was really dynamic. They were so excited because I don't ever think that they've seen reading material before.
But what is to come? You've got to ride a boat, which is man-made, made by the boys of the area who look after the cattle. And then they get some funds, some 5 cents or 10 cents to actually take you across. 80% of the children and teachers have got to go through or ride that boat in order to reach the school. This is one of the schools that received the books that you young authors have written.
Following this came the all-important delivery of the books to 20 rural schools. North Durban received theirs on the 16th of August with television and newspaper coverage. While on the 25th of August, Ezolwini School received 50 copies of George the Cat. This entailed some careful negotiating across slippery stones by Sipho Lombo, Krivashni Moodley, Jabulani Shlabangani, Ernie Thomas, and the headmistress, in order to cross the Umkumas River and gain access to the school, whose name means in heaven.
No, not too high. Water is, it's a lot of water. Sometimes there are deeper places where water can go. It's very deep.
That one you still go
yeah,
deep.
water. No, water is just like this. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Hi, I'm Pravashni Mudli from Old Mutual. It gives me great pleasure and honor to be here on behalf of my company, who has sponsored Peter Van Zale's George the Cat. I think it is necessary in this time and age that we give something towards literacy, because education and educating our children are the future of this country. So I'd like to now present the school principal, George the Cat, and I'd like to wish her everything lovely.
The book, George the Cat, has been written by Peter Van Zyl. Look at the book, just turn the book and you'll see the author. The author is a boy of your age, so you can actually write your own books as well.
It says, let my friends and my family go. And family go on hill.
We are so much thankful from the company that brought us these books. This will help our children to read. You have heard them reading that they are struggling because there were no books. There are no libraries here around. So we are so much thankful, even from Mr. Lombo, for the library, the box library. Thanks from Old Mutual. Thanks from Jablani. Thanks from the man in front of me with the
Camera.
with the what? Camera. Yes. Thank you so much. We are so much thankful. There is a step forward.
The children certainly felt in heaven when they started reading their books. A big thank you goes to those who have put in the time, effort and funds to sponsor this initial project. However, in order to make possible the next part of the project, the printing and supply of the 70 remaining titles and thereafter new selections, sponsorship is still badly needed. Titles are on view on the Umsinsi website.